Joining me today is iconic Melbourne chef Adrian Richardson. Look at that gorgeous face. I'm so excited for him to be here. He's chef and owner of La Luna Bistro and Bouvier Bar. Awesome. And you're going to be doing some gorgeous canapes that you have there. What's canapes?
Well, bar snacks. I'm going to do a couple of snacks. If you're sitting there drinking a Bouvier late at night and you need something to eat, you want to go look at the menu and have a look at something on the menu which is delicious. And that's what I'm going to cook. Something really delicious, some mussel fritters, and I'm going to put some prawns in it. It's really nice. And you're going to help me. It's great to actually be with you and be in your kitchen, because normally I'm bossing people around in my kitchen, but here I'm your guest, so you get to tell me to start and cook.
Let's go for it. So I'm bossing you around. Right, what are we doing, chef?
Now, what we're going to do to start with is we're going to make the fritters, and what I've got is some self-raising flour, because I want the fritters to be nice and light and fluffy, just like me. So what I'm going to do is put about 300 grams of self-raising flour in here, and you're going to grab 3 eggs from there, free-range eggs, beautiful eggs, and I like those eggs because they've got a little smiley face on them as well, which means they're happy eggs, isn't it?
Happy eggs, tasty eggs, right?
Exactly, that's what I like to say. Now, in there I'm going to put straight in, just pump it straight in. Now, I'm going to put some salt in there, which is very important, because salt is what brings out the flavour of everything. So hit your whisk in there, and you can tell they're free-range eggs. They've got a beautiful colour. Look at that. You're getting flour all over the place. It's your kitchen, so you can mess it up.
You've got a beautiful apron today.
Well, this is an apron I use on some of our catering jobs. You know, when I'm in a special house, we'll all wear these beautiful leather aprons. They look nice and pretty. Now, you can see you've got a couple of lumps in there, but what you're going to do with your big, strong muscles, you're going to whisk that around and get all those lumps out of there. And what I've done is poured about 300 mils of buttercream. If you don't have buttercream or buttermilk, you can just use regular milk. You can use cream. You can use yogurt, whatever you want. What you want to do is get the right consistency. Now, what I'll show you is the thickness there, and you can see that's nice and thick, probably a little too thick. So what I'll do is just add a tiny bit more of the buttermilk in there, probably another, 2-3 tablespoons, and that'll thin it out nicely.
Exactly. And look, if the recipe says a specific amount of millilitres, always have a little extra. Depending on the flour, you may need some more or a little less, right?
It also depends on who measures up the flour, because sometimes if you measure it by weight or you measure it in a cup, it's always a little bit different. So it's always a good idea to add your liquid slowly to get the right consistency.
Nice.
Now, what I'm also going to add to that is half an onion that I've chopped nice and fine. You can use white onion, you can use shallot, you can use spring onion, any of those things. And I've also got a garlic clove here. What I'm going to do with the garlic clove, on the microplane, you can chop it up if you want, but I find when you use a microplane like this, it makes it nice and fine and goes all the way through there, and you get that lovely garlic breath. You know what I mean?
I love garlic breath.
Great. I love garlic.
Especially on a first date.
Here we go. Now, what I'll do is mix that around.
Are you happy with that consistency?
That
That's perfect now.
Beautiful. It's almost like thick and cream in a way, that sort of consistency. Now, what I've got is some smoked paprika and some garam masala. You can use any spices you like, but I love these two. Gives it a bit of colour as well. Mix that around. And I'm also going to add in there some herbs. What I've got is some chives and dill here, and I'll just chop it sort of roughly all the way down here. And what I'm going to do is throw that in as well. And look, you're doing a great job. I love working with you because you've cleaned up as you've gone along. It's just beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do is add some mussels to here, and over there I've got some prawns. I'm going to get you to take the tails off about 4 or 5 of those prawns and chop them into about, a centimetre, 2 centimetres. It doesn't really matter how big you chop them.
Yeah, we don't want them to be too fine, though, because we want some texture in this, right?
You want to chew on them. Yeah, it's meat. You want to chew on it, and you want to know that the prawn's in there. Now, what I've done is I've got a kilo of mussels, and I've steamed them in a pot. I've got the pot really hot, put some oil in there, put the mussels in there. They steamed up. A little bit of white wine goes in there, and into the bowl they go. But when the mussels come out, what I do is I let them cool down, and they're like this in the shell. And what you do is sort of open them up. Be very careful when you do open them up, because often the shell can be quite sharp and easy to cut you. And what I'll do is I'll just peel the mussel out. I check it to make sure there's no little beard in there. I clean them off at the start as I throw them straight in. What I'll do is I'll move that out of the way there like that, and I'll just take this whisk, and with the whisk you just give it a bit of a gentle tap like that. You don't want to bang the whisk too hard on the side of the bowl. It damages the whisk. You want to be nice and gentle with the whisk. Now, what I'm going to do is just gently fold that around, and you can see this batter has lots of seafood in it and lots of colour in it, and the spices. It smells fantastic, and what I'm going to do is just have a little taste of it like that with my pinky or my little tiny thumb.
I'm going to have a taste too, just to make sure it's right.
It tastes great, and what I'll do is a little twist of pepper in there as well. And this is the stage you want to taste it. Now, some people don't like to taste it because it's got raw prawns in it. You don't have to if you don't want to. Maybe taste it before you put the prawns in there. If you don't want to have seafood in there, you can put chicken in there.
Corn would be beautiful in that one.
Corn
Just
would be great in there.
100% vegetarian.
But prawns and mussels are delicious. There's no doubt about that. Now, what I've got is my oil is the right temperature here. What I'm going to do is just grab some of this batter here and pop it straight into the oil. You can see it's just starting to sizzle away. And what I'll do is I'll put 4 or 5 little fritters in here and we'll clean up and we'll make a little salsa to go with it. And these should cook in about 5 or 6 minutes. Should be delicious.
Can't wait to try these. All right, let's get on to the salsa. All right, they look fantastic, beautiful, golden
brown.
brown.
Can you say that again? They look
fantastic.
What? Thank you. There we go. Now,
they look all right, actually. I'm just sort of making you feel better.
They smell good as well. There's something about deep-fried food just gets your mouth watering, doesn't it?
But also, I can smell those spices that we added, and you're quite generous with them.
Oh, that's me, you know, a generous sort of guy.
You are indeed.
You've got to make things taste good. So what I'll do is add lots of spices to it, lots of ingredients in there to make it nice and tasty. Now, what I'll do is I take it out of here. One of the most important things when you are deep frying, because you want to get straight into these fritters, is you might forget to turn the oil off, which is a big mistake. Make sure you turn that off, and now you can get involved in what's going on here. As soon as it comes out of the fryer, make sure you put plenty of salt on it. And
you love your salt, don't you?
I love salt. Salt is what makes everything delicious. Now, over here's our salsa. We've got tomato, cucumber, tarragon in there, chives in there, red onion. You're going to put some lemon juice in there and some sour cream. If you don't like sour cream, you could put yogurt in there. Now, what I'll do is I'll just grab a few of these fritters and pop them on the outside here so we can have a little look at them. Now, pop that salsa in there.
Is that enough sour cream for you?
That's plenty. We could put some more in there if you like, but I reckon that's enough. Now, what I'll do is pop that on the side there. You could probably put a lemon wedge on there or something else. Oh, there we go. Got half a lemon on there. Now, that looks great. If you've got a few people sitting in a bar, it's a great way to soak up all that booze. But what I'll do is I'll just grab one of these. It is a little bit hot. I'm going to open it up. And you can see the steaming goodness in there. The fritters cooked all the way through. The prawns in there. Do you want to grab hold of that? It is nice and hot.
Love sharing.
You can just smell it. It's gorgeous, isn't it? That prawn is a beautiful prawn. I reckon it's come from Harvey Bay, which is one of the best places that prawns come from.
Let's put some salsa on it. No salsa, just as is.
That is delicious. Nice and fluffy and soft and flavoursome and tasty.
Adrian, they are delicious. You can come back anytime.
Thank you.